Okay, it's time to take my platform down. Thank you, Mr. Platform. You really helped me out. I could not have done this job without you. I had just... So I wasn't quite sure what I was going to use, and this is just that old OSB plywood that some pieces were good enough to reuse, and so I just stacked 3 pieces on top of each other. There's no way one piece would have held me, or even 2 pieces for that matter. Look at these. But having all 3 of them up there, it actually worked quite nice. Hopefully I don't have to reuse this, but if I do, I can screw it all back together. I can use the same pieces, cut these down a little bit so that I could still squeeze up in there. And in fact, I think I'm gonna have to do that. So I'll save all the pieces. And these two back pieces, see, we're just setting there. Look at this piece. That's, I don't know, that was a 2x6 in here somewhere. That it had to come out. See what dry rot does? Yes, awful stuff. That's why I wanted to go and get all of this stuff out of there. And that one, I think I just had a couple screws in it on the side here. It wasn't held up by much, but once I got the top on it, I was fine. And then I just had a little piece here because there was a bolt down there. See this big bolt? It wouldn't fit down in there, so I thought, okay, phooey on you. I'll just use a little scrap I had. I kind of like this drill because it has the ratcheting thing. So here, I'll put it on forward, and if I wanted to get that screw a little tighter, it'll just kind of ratchet in. And it just sucked it right in. I could not have done that with my other drill. I'm not even quite sure what they call that. What they call this kind of drill. But it really comes in handy. Okay. I'll get everything situated, get my screws out of there, and figure out what I need to do to finish. Because see, I'm gonna end up putting plywood from here, and I've got all my pieces already figured out. Remember, my 4x8 sheets are not 4x8 anymore, they're 4x6, and this is less than 6 feet. That's actually less than 6 feet from there down. And so my whole entire box is, I can get out of 6 foot 4x6, and the same thing here. I got one extra strip for my 4x8 sheet, and then I've got that 4x6. I'll probably have about half of a 4x6 sheet of plywood left, I'm guessing. So see, this one kind of squeezes in from here, and it goes on the outside. It fits right in through like that. Kaboink. Right up to there, so I'll have to cut that back, and I'll get that all figured out here in a minute. Now I'm getting ready to measure for the plywood and stuff, but my word, what about all of this paper? Well, generally what happens See this paper here, I'm going to end up having to cut off because this is exposed. I'm going to have to cut it off right to the bottom of the stucco mold. And generally, you don't really do it the way that I've done it, but I didn't really have a choice because of all the dry rot stuff. Usually, you would have a stucco mold at the bottom of your house, let's say, okay? Then your paper would go over the top of that L bracket, like a U, and it would go over the top of that, and then it would go up, and then the next piece would lap over that and go up some more and some more and some more. Or you can use Tyvek, but either way, and that's long, wide, 9-foot sheets of material that will keep the rain from coming in. With old days, they used to use paper like this, and they even used tar paper. And if you will remember, when I took this out, there's tar paper behind there. See the tar paper? They put that on there before the stucco wire. Okay? And that tar paper goes down, like right in here, where you've got your column here. Your trim fits right to there, and then your tar paper fits over the top of that and then goes up. Well, in my case, I don't really have any trim left, do I? Like that, because it was already there. The old stuff was there. There was no way I could really fix it. I'm still waterproofing this to a certain extent. If any water gets back in there, you know, it's going to come down. This plywood is protected now. But where does it go from here? Well, from here, that's a very, very good question. Where does it go? Because if there is a leak, because see this paper here was on the back side, you know, in between there. But now I'm going to have to cut that up there so that this is exposed. And technically, I could put paper on the back of this on down. And I could do that even after I put the plywood up. I don't even really necessarily have to put it on the back of the plywood. I only have to do that on this last piece. So I can kind of show you that at that time. I'm going to leave this piece because obviously there's going to be, I'm going to put new paper on there, and the paper is going to go on top, not underneath, because you're looking at it backwards. Water's coming from here, and then it has to go over the top of the next piece. So I'm going to have to put it under there, and or let's see, no, over the top of this, so that the water is coming from here and comes down on the next piece and the next piece. Now see this one here, I basically have to cut this out because this is underneath the deck over on this side. You see, you're going to see the plywood here, not the paper. So technically, you know, this would have to be folded up, and then I would have to push the plywood up to that. You see, up to that edge. In fact, I could do that. I could do that now that I'm thinking of it. I could staple that back up and pull that up and wrap that up, staple that up, and then put my plywood in there, and then fold that over. I think I could do that. Too bad oh no, that's okay. Yeah, see there, I can't really do it because see, it's way up there. So that's going to have to be cut up. I'm going to have to do that slightly different, but I could probably still put it on there. What I'm going to do too is, see, this is the stucco on the outside of the house, and see how the paper's all messed up here from ripping out the plywood and stuff. I'm going to take a piece of this paper, double layer it, and I'm going to go this way, and over the top of here, and then on that side, after the plywood comes here, after this plywood comes here, I'll go over the top, plywood will come through here, okay? And then, remember there's a 2x6 here. See, right here, remember I took a 2x6 out here, and I took this one out on the inside, and so I can cut that paper back on the back side of this, and then put the 2x6 in, cut the paper off. I can just let it run wild for now. Cut it back off, and then I can put caulking there, my construction adhesive right there too. You see what I mean? So I'll have all the paper there. So yeah, see, I can't just fold that over there. This piece is going to go away, so I don't have to worry about that. I just have to staple that up, this up, you know, on that corner. Actually this part right to here, huh? Up to this wall. Okay, and then cut out the rest and staple that up. Put the other plywood in there. Yeah, put the plywood, I'm still thinking about this. Staple that up like that, put the plywood there, and then fold it down on top of that. Okay. And see, normally you don't really have to do anything like that, but just because of how I'm doing everything, I think, no, wait a minute. I think that could still, this piece can go up, like I was talking about, and then fold down on the inside, right? And then I'll put this piece on first, and then I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to pull this down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that down and staple it, boom, 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 all the way down there, because it's going to be on the back of that piece. But because, see, that's on the inside. Well, where you're on the outside of this column, boom, 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 the paper is supposed to be on the other side. That's what it is. You see what I mean? You'll figure it out. Okay. Just keep watching this video. I'll show you. Look at this. Here's lots of the pieces that I had up inside of there to hold that thing together before I got it all situated. And then once I didn't need it, I just took them back out of there, because like for this one, I would cut that off, and I cut it in half, and I make some clips like this, and all out of that track. I'm not going to throw that stuff away. Even if I end up not using it, I can use this for other projects. Okay, save that. It's very valuable stuff. See what I did here? I had a little scrap piece of redwood, and I cut that, and I didn't want it to fall because it's moving a little bit, and so I just took a little piece of twine, and I wrapped it around there to keep it from falling. That's when I had both of these undone. I didn't want this to sag at all, and so I did that. This little twine stuff, you can get it at Home Depot. Lowe's probably has it too, right at the end when you get ready to go out of the lumber area. They'll let you take some off of a spool, tie your stuff down in your car, in your trunk, on your rack, the back of your truck, whatever. You can just peel off however much you want of this stuff. This is strong, stiff stuff. And they also have red flags that you can put on, you know, in case something's sticking out of your truck 3 or 4 feet beyond your tailgate, that kind of stuff. Okay, so look for that when you leave Home Depot and Lowe's.